Bloody hell.
How do you feel about that?
The most important thing to me about directing Robin Hood Beyond Sherwood was that we entertain. When I first read the script, I was impressed with the idea that we were going to be telling a fantasy story set against the backdrop of the original Robin Hood. And I think that we have a nice medium between a non-traditional version of Robin Hood and a more classic version of Robin Hood. One of the reasons for wanting to direct an MOW like this is the challenge of it. I've directed many episodes of Stargate, SG-1, for Sci-Fi, and when I read the script I realized, hey, this is a great opportunity. Who wouldn't want to direct Robin Hood? Who wouldn't want to direct Robin Hood with a dragon?
When my agent said, look, you know, they're shooting this for 3 weeks in BC, I assumed he meant 3 months. And when he confirmed, no, it's 3 weeks, I thought, but how is it possible? Because this is epic. And then, you know, I was convinced that these people seemed to know what they were doing and they were sufficiently experienced to work quickly and confidently without compromising production value, as long as the actors showed up, you know, knowing their lines and knowing who their characters were and able to hit marks and emote. So sometimes, you know, I'm an actor, I'm a troubadour, I'm a traveling player, a wandering minstrel. So you get invited to dance and you go to the dance. And it's been, as I say, it's been a very happy surprise at how effective everyone has been in their departments and how accomplished the result, as far as I can see, within the short shooting schedule.
This is Robin Dunn doing his own stunt.
Is that on?
And action!
Peter and I had worked together previously on Sanctuary, and when the project came to me, you know, one of the two deciding factors was it was Robin Hood, and I you know, it's an iconic character. It's a character that I've always wanted to play, and so definitely the project was interesting to me. But once I knew it was Peter directing, that kind of sealed the deal for me, because, you know, Peter is he's a real visionary. He's a guy who really knows what he wants. He has a very strong idea of what the movie should look like, and he's a guy that, as an actor, he's a director that you can really put your trust in, and I found that when I first worked with him. So, you know, it was a no-brainer for me to come aboard and work with him again.
You're looking out over the bucket, and action!
All right, Little John, take them to Sherwood. Meet me by the Great Elm along the North Road.
You're not coming with us.
I've got to get the parchment from the sheriff.
I've very much enjoyed meeting Robin Dunn and working with him, and just a very generous actor and no ego whatsoever. It's been very nice, and it's always an added bonus when you're working on any project that you get along with the people you're working with. It really helps as you're doing your scenes and that sort of thing, to not have to kind of overcome an obstacle of not liking them, you know, or having some differences. So it's been very, very fun.
One of the pleasures of directing Robin Hood Beyond Sherwood is the talent of my actors. They are incredible. And when you're working this fast and you're just shoving people on the spot and say, act, say your lines, now walk over here, look that way, say your lines this way. And they're so focused. And Robin Dunn is such a master at this, because him and I actually met on a series called Sanctuary, which also was done for Sci-Fi. And he's used to looking at nothing but green and going, wow, this is so amazing what I'm not seeing in front of me, when you have a giant green screen in front of him. So it was quite easy to get him to say, hey, there's a dragon right there. Take my word for it.
Be Mark.
Thanks, and action! Ah!
background now with doing fight sequences and that sort of thing. The difference in this, of course, is we didn't have a lot of time in the different types of fighting. So she's modern in the sense that she is a little bit more steps out of that, traditional wearing the dress all the time and just following along with what Daddy wanted me to do. She runs away. She's in the forest dressed like a man. And the type of fighting she does, so she has a quarterstaff. So I had to do some training with that. I relied so heavily on Laurel, our stunt coordinator, because she's just fantastic. And so, we've been doing a lot of that kind of fighting and jousting. And there's the bow and the arrow, of course, for Robin Hood. So it's taking things back to that period and that time period. It's great.
Now, Your Highness, most excellent day for a hanging, don't you think?
Julian Sands I've not worked with before, even though he's done Stargate. He plays one of the bad guys on Stargate. I didn't have the pleasure of working with him, but I was able to make him laugh 3 times during the shoot, which I'm told is a record. He plays his cards very close to his vest, and I got him to smile 3 times, and I thought, well, that was worth the whole experience right there. Never mind the thing with the dragon or the half-naked girl. I worked with Julian Sands, and I made him laugh.
I hadn't met Peter before, and I met him for the first time in Vancouver in the office, and he's got a fantastic sort of enthusiasm and energy and openness, but that belies a kind of, he's got a real deep knowledge of the material and how it's going to work and what's going to happen and what the effect and the vision is, and he's quite a serious man underneath the sort of crazy bonhomie which he projects. That's real too, but there's a seriousness which I respect.
No, you gotta go back over there and get out of the way of the whip guy. Okay. And
The whip's got to happen first, Brent.
oh, okay. And Paul, go back and step up. And action, Paul!
You just look at something. If you just go, hey, look at that. It's easy. It's easy. There's no problem with it. But once you start going, ooh, you hit me, and you're not even there, and I'm hitting you, and now I'm holding a sword, and half of it's in you, and I'm holding the other half, or I'm stabbing you with this giant pike, or the beast has thrown me through this thing by making contact with me. All these things, you have to work out, because if your hand is here and the beast hits you and you just go, and it looks like you're just throwing yourself, then there's no the verisimilitude, the suspension of disbelief is not maintained, because the body's not reacting the way it should be. And the thing, of course, is quite big, so it's impossible to get I gotta look up here all the time. So I had this pot. I don't know if you saw my pot on the end of a stick. I used my light bulb changer from my house, because I have light bulbs that are two stories up in the rafters, and it has an extender arm on it, and I taped a pot to it, and we painted it green, and that pot became this catch-all as the eye line to the monster's head. We also used the pot to catch the spear when the spear hits the monster into the well. So that piece of machinery, honestly, I don't know how I would have made the movie without my pot on the extender pole. I recommend it highly to you young filmmakers. You ready?
I need you, yes.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.